In this lecture, we are going to discuss one of the most important practical topics for every marine engineer and E2, main and emergency switchboard troubleshooting. As you can see on the screen, the main switchboard is the heart of the ship's electrical system. All generators, bus bars, protection systems, and distribution feeders are connected here. When any fault occurs in this area, it directly affects the entire ship. Troubleshooting is not just about pressing reset. It is about understanding alarms, reading indications, and thinking logically before taking action. In this video, I will explain common faults like breaker not closing, load imbalance, overcurrent trips, voltage instability, and emergency switchboard problems, step by step in a practical way. If you are a marine engineer, E2, or electrical professional, this knowledge is very important for your onboard confidence and oral exams. Before we continue, please support the channel. Like this video, share it with your colleagues, and subscribe to TechTide Digital Lifestyle for more professional marine engineering tutorials. Now let's begin. Safety before troubleshooting. Before touching any switchboard panel, safety must always be your first priority. On the screen, you can see a marine engineer wearing proper pay, insulated gloves, helmet, and using proper tools. This is not optional. Switchboards operate at high voltage and high current. One mistake can cause serious injury. Always inform the chief engineer before starting troubleshooting. If required, follow permit to work procedures. Check if isolation is possible. Never work on exposed live terminals unless absolutely necessary and authorized. Arc flash risk is real in switchboards. Even a loose connection can create dangerous sparks. Many accidents happen because engineers rush during blackout or alarm situations. Do not panic. Take a few seconds to think clearly and act safely. Remember, equipment can be repaired. Human life cannot be replaced. Safety first, always. Common main switchboard problems. Here you can see typical alarm indications on the main switchboard. Some of the most common problems on board are generator breaker not closing, unequal load sharing between generators, overcurrent trips, reverse power alarm, synchronization failure, voltage instability. These faults may look complicated, but each one has a logical reason behind it. For example, breaker not closing could be due to voltage mismatch or protection relay active. Unequal load sharing may be due to governor or AVR imbalance. Overcurrent trip usually indicates excessive load or short circuit. The key point is, never randomly reset alarms. First understand the cause. Good troubleshooting starts with observation. Read alarm messages carefully. Check meters. Check indications. Logic first, action second. Generator breaker not closing. Now let's discuss one of the most common problems, generator breaker not closing. When a generator is ready and synchronized, but the breaker still does not close, check the basics first. Is the voltage correct? Is the frequency matching the busbar? Is synchronization complete? If sync is incomplete, breaker interlock will prevent closing. Next, check protection relays. Is there any active trip signal? Overcurrent? Reverse power? Then check control power supply. Sometimes the breaker closing coil does not get power due to a blown fuse. Mechanical interlock can also block breaker operation. Do not keep pressing the close button repeatedly. That can damage the mechanism. Systematic checking saves time and avoids further problems. Unequal load sharing. On this slide, you see two generators connected to the same busbar but carrying different loads. This is called unequal load sharing. One generator may carry 70%, while the other carries 30%. This is dangerous because the overloaded generator can trip. The main causes are governor setting mismatch, affecting active power sharing, AVR imbalance, affecting reactive power sharing, CT feedback error, or PMS communication problem. Check kW and kVAR meters carefully. Active power depends on governor. Reactive power depends on AVR. Adjust carefully according to manufacturer instructions. Proper load sharing ensures stable operation and prevents reverse power trips. Overcurrent or short circuit trip. If a generator suddenly trips on overcurrent, do not immediately reconnect it. First, ask, what changed? Was a heavy motor started? Was a crane or thruster engaged? Is there a downstream short circuit? Check feeder breakers one by one. Identify the faulty feeder. If a motor has insulation failure, reconnecting without inspection may cause repeated trip. Gradually restore loads. Never restore all loads at once. Overcurrent protection exists to protect cables and equipment from overheating and fire risk. Treat every overcurrent trip seriously. Find the cause, then reset. Voltage instability or AVR issues. Voltage instability can damage sensitive equipment like navigation systems and automation panels. If busbar voltage is fluctuating, check the AVR first. AVR controls excitation of generator. If malfunctioning, voltage will not remain stable. Check excitation voltage. Inspect terminal connections for looseness. Check CT and PT feedback signals. Sometimes governor instability can also indirectly affect voltage. Observe voltage waveform and meter readings carefully. Stable voltage is essential for proper operation of electronic systems on board. Small fluctuations can become big problems if ignored. Emergency switchboard faults. Emergency switchboard must always be ready. If main power fails, emergency generator should start automatically within seconds. Common problems include emergency generator not auto-starting, breaker not closing, battery weak, under voltage relay malfunction. Regular testing is extremely important. Check battery condition weekly. Test auto-start function. Verify voltage output. If emergency system fails during blackout, ship safety is compromised. Treat emergency systems as critical life support equipment. Never neglect their maintenance. Logical troubleshooting method. Now let's summarize the correct troubleshooting approach. Step 1. Identify alarm clearly. Step 2. Understand trip cause. Step 3. Check meters and logs. Step 4. Inspect physically. Step 5. Test step by step. Step 6. Restore gradually. Never guess. Never reset blindly. Never bypass protection without understanding risk. Good engineers use logic and patience. Documentation also helps. Record what happened and what action was taken. This systematic approach builds professional confidence. Summary or professional importance. Troubleshooting skills define a competent engineer. In this lecture, we learned safe working procedure, common main switchboard faults, emergency switchboard issues, load imbalance causes, overcurrent and voltage problems, logical fault finding method. When blackout happens on board, people look at the engineer for solutions. Your calmness and logical thinking make the difference. Practical knowledge is more powerful than theory alone. Keep learning, keep practicing, and always prioritize safety. Thank you for watching this complete lecture on main and emergency switchboard troubleshooting. I hope this session helped you understand practical onboard fault finding in a clear and simple way. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and comment below. Your support helps this channel grow and reach more marine professionals. Make sure you subscribe to TechTide Digital Lifestyle and explore our playlist section, where you will find complete tutorials on main switchboard operation, emergency generator systems, power management system, blackout handling, and preventive maintenance. Continuous learning makes you confident and successful on board. Stay safe, stay professional, and I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you once again for watching.